you miss us? Because, hey, guess what? We missed you too. Welcome back to episode 21 of Press Breakers, where UP Power enters the spotlight. I am one half of this amazing program, Daily Press Sports Editor, the big dog, Mitch Vosburg. Joining with me is Producer Noah. Producer Noah, you're getting close to your first Michigan Christmas. We got some white stuff coming just for you, but how you feeling so far today, man?
Oh, I'm good. I'm in that holiday spirit. I'm excited to see the snow coming down a little bit today, and I hope it sticks around for Christmas.
It's okay. It's okay if you lied there. It's totally fine if you lied about wanting to see that snow. But no, but one thing I learned as a Michigander, not a Michiganian, that's Michigander, get it right, is that when snow falls, it's basketball season. Which I know in Georgia, when snow falls, it's a panic. But
Yes.
But when snow falls in Michigan, it's basketball season. So, Noah, kick us off for the first segment, my guy.
Yeah, so we're in it, guys. We are in the beginning of basketball season. We got a good schools going at it. We got some rankings, some polls. But Big Dog, you're the sports editor. I want to know, out of the boys and the girls throughout high school in the area, what's the team that's got you surprised?
So in the UP so far, boys' side is Nagani a little bit. The only losses so far have been to Kingsford and to Marquette, and they're on a collision course for some absolute wars in the GNC. So, other than that, they've beaten everybody else pretty handily. So, and I kind of didn't expect that out of Nagani. So, good for Nagani. We'll go there. And then the girls' side, guess what? It's the same school. After Ella Mason graduated, I thought Nagani would take a little dip. They're 5-0 and have not missed a beat. So, credit to Michael O'Donnell and the whole roster for still being as dominant as they were all last year, because that was a team that made state semifinal round in Division II. And just took names and kicked butts. So, those are the two that are kind of surprised me so far. But for the right reasons. Not like, oh, God, they're terrible. It's more for like, oh, they're better than I thought they'd be kind of feel.
All right, well, good for Nagani. It's always good to start a season off straight, just strong. Kind of going off that same sort of idea. Some teams are off to a hot start. What teams would those be?
Well, hot starts and basically who's hot and that's not surprising at all. Marquette on the boys' side, red hot start, no surprise whatsoever. They got not one, not two, but three kids are probably going D3, D2. I don't think there's a school in the UP that can throw a combination of three better players than Marquette can, with Jacob McPhee, Jackson Jeremiah, and Kyler Sager. Teams can throw out two, definitely, but I don't know if there's a combination of three that's better than those three right now as I'm talking. And then on the girls' side, it's not really a surprise to me. Maybe a couple may be good surprised. It's Gladstone. Again, 5-0. They got limited to 50 points last night against Marquette. That's the least they've scored so far. Lily Johnson, still an all-state caliber player, and the supporting cast around her is really starting to shine. So those two schools, no surprise off the hot starts right now.
Well, congrats to the Marquette boys team and the Gladstone girls team. Congratulations on that hot start. Hope they can keep it going. Moving right along, again with the same idea. As Christmas is approaching, we're going to be starting a new year, and that means a new month for basketball. So tell me, what are some teams that you think are going to particularly excel come January?
On the boys' side, I do like Gladstone. They've gone through an absolute gauntlet out of the gate. We mentioned a couple episodes ago, how Marquette was a tough matchup. They've also faced Iron Mountain. That was a tough one for them. And then they also play Nagani. And those three right there would be three of your top four teams, the first UP poll, and they still got to play Kingsford twice. So I know head coach Jake Easby is going to squeeze basically everything he can out of this group. It's super young, and they're taking the lumps right now, like as we've discussed before. But that schedule's going to lighten up a little bit with some teams that I think are not quite in that upper echelon elite tier, because there's three of them right now on the UP and the boys' side, and all three are in the same conference as Gladstone. So they got to play 6 of those games against those schools and probably see Kingsford in a district game. So the boys' side, I like Gladstone to start getting some momentum going. On the girls' side, I really like Bark River Harris. Now, they did lose their big three that went undefeated in conference play for 2 years in the reigning back-to-back conference MVP, but you saw it through the season. The first game, way out of whack, started playing well in the fourth quarter. Then against North Dickinson, they put together a good first quarter. Then against Menominee, they put together a good first half. Then against Escanaba, they couldn't make an actual basket from the floor until just after 10 minutes into the game. They had 5 free throws. That rim had a lid on them for some reason. And then all of a sudden you go Monday night and they get a win over Norway. And 2 kids I thought would be huge for them would be sophomore Emma Zawada and junior Julia Nault. Both popped off for 19 and 16 respectively. Nault hit 5 3-pointers, 4 in the second quarter alone. That's a kid that, according to my source, could have been up on varsity last year, but they're just so deep with talent. It's better for her to stay on JV at that point. But no, now you got 4 players that you know for sure can score. You got 4 girls that are confident, and when you have 4 options like that at the Division III level, that district's gonna be a lot of fun. And I think they definitely have a shot at winning it. They have to get by Menominee again, who beat them by 12 earlier when they got their really good first half, but just couldn't match up the third quarter. So on the girls' side, really like what Parker Harris can be able to do with a new coach.
Well, we'll check back in with this in the new year, see how right you were. But it's great the basketball season's back. I'm sure you miss football, but it's nice to be indoors, eh?
Yeah, the walks from my car to the gym suck, but that's not bad being indoors. From a photography standpoint, I kind of hate it because it's just gyms have such crummy lighting half the time. But
true,
it's still fun.
True. All right, well, we're gonna move it right along, and we're gonna stay in the same vein. We got some polls to talk about. Big Dog, why don't you break that down?
So UP polls don't drop for another while still, but I'm just having fun with saying, if the polls were to drop today, how would I vote? Because I'm one of the people that do get a vote in that, by the way. So in the boys division 1 through 3, I think right now Marquette has my first place vote, but they play Iron Mountain on Friday. If I was around that time and no games were going on, I would get my rear end after Marquette. If you're bored and need a good basketball game to watch on Friday, get your rear end to Marquette. That's going to be a barn burner. So right now I'd say Marquette 1, but I think you could interchange Kingsford and Iron Mountain in that one spot and nobody would bat an eye. I think those are the 3 that are interchangeable between 1 and 3 depending on your preference. But I give the edge to Marquette right now because, as I mentioned earlier, just the 3 they have and the depth around them. On the boys D4 side, it's kind of hard not to pick Forest Park right now. State quarterfinals last year, just ran into Johnny Ingles, who dropped a nice, quiet 40-plus point game on them out of nowhere, which was kind of cool. I mean, the dude was, by the time the dude hit the bench, he was at 1,998 career points.
Whew.
Yeah. Whew. Yeah, that Ingles family knows basketball, let me tell you. On the girls' side, D1 through D3, I think you flip a coin between Glasgow and Nagani right now. They played twice in the regular season, and my guess right now, if you had to pick something, I think that could very well be a district championship game because they're together in a district, which would be entertaining beyond belief. But I think right now it's a coin flip between Gladstone and Nagani. And D4, some good teams. I'm trying to figure out the west side right now, but I'd say based off the body work I know they have from last year, I'd say Ewan Trout Crew could be my number 1 team in D4 girls right now. It's a team last year that made a regional title game with sophomores, freshmen, and 8th graders. No juniors, no seniors. And if one of their guards wasn't just puking her guts out in the second quarter because Ishpeming Express was so insane, they could have hung in a lot tighter with Ishpeming. I mean, they gave them a good half of a fight. It's just only 2 schools kept with Ishpeming all year. One was Division 3, one was Division 2. So, yeah, I think Ewan Shell Creek is that top dog right now in D4 girls. Although there's a lot of teams you could maybe throw in there because D4 is can be kind of a crapshoot at times.
Yeah, and tell me again, when does the official poll come out?
Sometime in January. I'm going to guess early January, middle of January. Once I know for sure, I'll let everyone know.
Okay, great. Just be cool to compare your mock poll to the official one.
Yeah, so you mentioned the mock poll. Let's get right into it. So, boys division 1 through 3. Right now, like I mentioned, Marquette, Kingsford, Iron Mountains interchangeable. I got Marquette 1, Kingsford 2, Iron Mountain 3. As of right now, my 4 spot I have Nagani, and my 5 spot I have Ishpeming Westwood. I think trying to find the 5 spot right now, you can debate between a couple teams, but right now I would give the edge to the Patriots over someone like Menominee. My boys D4, I would go Forest Park, Ironwood, Norway, North Central, and then right now Pickford. I think the top 4 teams right now are going to be what you see, but again, D4 has so many teams and so many voters have so many different opinions. At that 5th spot, it's going to be a bugaboo. It's going to be interesting out the gate, see how it goes. I'd say right now, because of what I can figure out from the east side, I would go Pickford at that 5 spot. Girls Division 1 through 3. Again, flip a coin between Gladstone and Nagani right now. I have Gladstone just by a hair on my chinny chin chin, which there's a lot of. So I go Gladstone 1, Nagani 2. I would go Sault Ste. Marie 3. And then the 4 and 5 spots I think could be a little tricky. As of right now, based off the bodywork I've seen, I would go Menominee 4 and Calumet 5. Who else is in the D1, D3, who picks up some steam? We will see. But as of right now, where I stand, with the research I've done so far, that's what I like for the girls D1 through 3. And then girls D4, I like, in this order, Trout Creek, Lakeland and Hubble, St. Ignace, Lance. I think those 4 you're going to see all year long. My 5th team right now, because I feel like they can really compete in their conference, and what I saw them do on Monday was actually pretty impressive, especially the way they attacked the perimeter on the offensive end of the floor. Forest Park. A double OT win against Coronado with Paul Polfus at the helm is a pretty nice little nod to have, which tells you how competitive the Skyline Central is going to be this year at the top. So it's going to be a lot of fun, but those are the 5 I go with right now.
All right, you heard it here first, folks. And like Big Dog said, the official poll comes out sometime in January, so you'll get to see how right our sports editor was when that time comes around.
Or how wrong, we'll see. I always vote one way, and all of a sudden I forget about a team and maybe sure I'm more great. I don't know. There's like 40-something schools up here, and trying to find information on the west side is like finding a needle in a haystack sometimes. It can be tricky. Because those western schools EP don't come over our way very often.
Right.
And then the east side can also be a bit of a crapshoot, but I got better connections so far out that way. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we'll see how right and see how wrong I am. I feel confident, though.
All right, we'll see. And we do got some Big 5 bets to get into. We, of course, got my questions and some other fun stuff. But we would be remiss if we didn't thank our wonderful sponsor.
Yes, the wonderful folks at Pioneer TV and Appliance. Folks, it's a great time for sports right now with the NFL getting down nitty-gritty. We got the college football playoff, which we'll talk about in a little bit. The 12-team format, that's going to be exciting or terrible. We'll find out. But no, everything you need to create the ultimate game day experience, you can get at one place, essentially. You can get it at Pioneer TV and Appliance.
That's right.
Don't trust any John Schmo or Jane Doe. Don't trust any so-called expert. Trust your neighborhood experts at Pioneer TV and Appliance. Located at 1116 Langton Street in beautiful, scenic, downtown Escanaba.
And thank you to Pioneer for sponsoring this episode and many of our episodes. Shop local, folks.
Yes, shop local.
And with that, we are going to get in to Big Dog's Big 5 bets. All right, let's hear it, Big Dog.
Yeah, so last week, meh. Let's go, meh. I did say the Falcons Raiders was going to be an ugly game, and it was an ugly game.
When I was watching that, I thought, well, Mitch was wrong. The Falcons won, but he was dang on right. It was a disgusting game.
Even when I'm wrong, I'm right. It's so hard being this good. Anyway, so Big 5 bets this week. Game 1. I have this rule when it comes to this rivalry game, and it's going to apply here again today. Steelers at the Ravens. Baltimore is 6.5-point favorites at home. Again, these games on average since 2000 are 20 to 19 games. These are tight. 6.5 is way too much. Give me the Steelers here to win off the right leg of Chris Boswell once again, 18-13.
Yeah, I don't know where these are coming from. I love the Baltimore and Pittsburgh games, and I'm not a fan of either team. It is just like some old school winning in the trenches football. I think you're right. It's going to be the MVP Boswell who's going to win the game. But yeah, give me a closely contested one. Give it to me at 15-14.
Ooh.
I know that's a weird number or a weird score. Maybe it'll happen.
Would that be a scoregami?
I think so.
That'd be fun. All right, game 2. We talked about Bryce Young getting benched and how it was a good thing for him, and how Carolina's trying to figure things out with whatever talent they have left, which is not much. But they're 5-point home dogs against the Cardinals. Yeah. I think Carolina has a big moment this week. I think Carolina has a moment where they realize, okay, we're good, we can do this. Because I think, as much as I like what Arizona is doing this year, I think they're more of a C-tier team. They're not a B team where you're like, okay, they're flipping the wild card spot, maybe a playoff spot. They're not A tier where they're going to win a division, and they're not an S tier where you have Patrick Mahomes and some dark magic and a head coach who wants to bite kneecaps. You're a C tier. We're just like, we're trying to figure it out. And I think Carolina is about to make that jump from the D tier to the C tier.
Okay.
So, because of that, I like the Panthers to win here a tight one, a competitive one, 24-22 at home.
Very interesting. Yeah, I mean, Carolina has played better as of late. And I think in the past couple weeks, teams maybe didn't want to face them because, I mean, they're not going to the playoffs. They're just not. It's not happening. They're eliminated. So they're just playing football. For the Cardinals, though, I think, that's a pretty close divisional race right now. And I think they're going to go in, and it's going to be a close one, but I'm going to disagree with Big Dog here. I think Arizona pulls it out 27-20.
Now we get to the Morlock parlay, leg 1. The Dallas Cowboys season died on Monday Night Football off that punt. That was just, you block a punt and then you just, I don't have the words to describe that. I don't. Now you host in Tampa, who's starting to catch fire, and Dallas is 4-point home dogs. Dallas does not have the offensive firepower to match Tampa. They don't.
Not at all.
CeeDee Lamb, awesome. Quarterback, running back, O-line, yeah. Tampa's rolling. Tampa's figuring it out. Tampa could be a dark horse for NFC title game for all I care right now. Give me Tampa. Now, this is going to be hard to watch because, again, I'll be down with my brother and his wife next week. And my brother, I love him to death, but he married into a family of Cowboy fans.
Oh, no.
So, I like Tampa Bay to win here 38-20, but I'm not going to get rowdy or be cheering over it because the last thing I want to do is piss off my sister-in-law who just had a kid 5 months ago, and the kid's head tested a 90th percentile in the head circumference. You figure it out why I'm not going to piss her off. You figure it out. Love you, Sayla.
I just wanted to chime in real quick here. I need Tampa Bay to lose.
Oh, yeah.
But they're not going to. So I just wanted to say that. Give me Tampa 34-14, and I'm upset about it, but I just wanted to put my 2 cents in there.
All right, we got your pennies. Here we go. Leg 2. Cleveland, Cincinnati. Again, we got AFC North. It's going to be a fun episode of Hard Knocks next week. Oh, that's going to be fun. Jameis Winston's on the bench. They're not eating W's. They're not taking crab legs from Publix. It's just, meh. My only issue is it's 7.5 and not 7. Since he's going to win, I think 7.5 is too big. So give me the Bengals here, 31-24.
Yeah, I like Cincinnati here. I think Big Dog. I don't know if you've seen. There's a video circulating right now of Joe Burrow on the bench after the Titans game, just saying like we should have beat those guys by a lot more. Essentially, all that to say, I think Burrow is getting a little frustrated and he's wanting to win bigger. But again, we've seen that Cincinnati does not have a great defense. So they do win. But like you said, it's going to be on the closer side. And I think it might be even a little bit closer than what you had. I think it's Cincy 31 to Cleveland 27.
Okay, yeah. I don't like the Bengals defense against anybody right now.
That's fair.
against anybody.
The only thing that gives me hope is the fact that Dorian Thompson was third string quarterback?
Second or third, yeah.
Yeah, so.
Who's got? And then finally, my last leg. Man, the Lions lose one game the first time in 3 months, and everybody panics. Like, calm down, people. Yes, I get it. They're more banged up. It's like that one dude from SpongeBob who has the fake glass bones and paper skin or whatever. It's bad, but it could be worse. We could be Bears fans. Which, speaking of that, man, when Jason Kelsey says that Chicago needs to prove they belong in the NFL, that tells you how bad this team has sunken. They were 4-2 at one point. 4-2. Now they're what, 4-11? Or 4-10 or something like that. Something brutal. Something absolutely brutal.
We'll fact check that, but yes.
This offense is putrid, and even though Detroit's defense is banged up beyond belief, I still take it against this Bears offense. Big thing too, when Detroit and Chicago played the first time around, not a good second half. Lions this week, really good second half on offense. Something clicked with it.
4-10 for the Bears, by the way.
Exactly. 8 straight losses. It's going to be 9, folks. It's not going to be pretty. Chicago's offense just can't match Detroit's. Even with David Montgomery out, which there goes my flex for my fantasy keeper team in the playoffs now. But I will repair somehow. Lions are 6.5 point favorites. They're going to win and cover. Lions win 31-20.
Yeah, I know a lot of Lions fans were freaking out, but okay, just remember this wasn't the Atlanta Falcons they were playing. They were playing the Buffalo Bills
With MVP Josh Allen.
Yeah. So like we saw. I was talking to our other sports writer John, and I was like, "This is potentially a Super Bowl matchup, very close to it." So just take it for what it is. I mean, Goff played great. The offense played great. We just got some things to clean up. But I like them to bounce back here, take the win, put up 40-14.
Yeah, I had Goff in one of my fantasy leagues this last week.
Feeling good.
45 points. I put up 180 in the league. No one touched me. I beat my brother in the first round of the playoffs. So, to you, Ethan. So, yeah, those are my big 5 bets of the week. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm excited.
Yeah, and that is Big Dog's Big 5 Bets. And we're going to move right into Noah's Big 3 questions.
Whoop, whoop.
Before I do that, I did print out just a couple of things that made me laugh. And I'll show them to you, Big Dog, and then we can describe them for our listeners. This first one is the Los Angeles Dodgers, and the caption is, "New Dodgers logo just leaked."
And instead of the word Dodgers, it's deferred. It's the basic Dodgers logo with the red and the blue with the baseball. Oh, God.
I just thought that was...
That's why you were giggling so hard in the office earlier. Oh.
Yes. Isn't that great?
You know what? Honestly, with my thoughts, defer them.
Okay, one more funny one, and this is a Yankees one, and I am, folks, you know I'm a Yankees fan, and this one made me laugh. So, Big Dog, tell me what you see there.
So, we have a shape of a pentagon, and then below it says pentagon. We have a shape of a hexagon. Underneath it says hexagon. We have now a shape of a octagon, and underneath it says octagon. Now we have the New York Yankees logo, and it says Sotogon. SOTOGONOMGABCDEF. Oh my goodness.
Yep, that I just had to share that. MLB memes on Facebook, folks. They make me laugh. But yes, now let's get serious here. Let's get into my big 3 questions.
Do it.
We're gonna do. We got 2 football and 1 baseball, so we're gonna do football, baseball, football.
Sweet.
I am gonna ask just, normally I try to not let my Atlanta side show too much, but you allow me to talk about my teams down there. But this one was kind of NFL news related to Atlanta, and I wanted to get your take on it. What is your reaction to benching Cousins? And is this the signaling that it's time, in the offseason to potentially trade him?
How much dead money you got to eat though with that Cousins contract?
There was so if he's released, it's like over 60 million.
Yeah,
but
and
if he's traded, I think the Falcons have to eat 34 million.
yeah, I think he stays one more year just because it's a nice veteran presence to have around Penix.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, we saw like I mentioned last week, older quarterbacks coming off Achilles surgeries this year have not boded well, and Kirk's one of those guys. I thought Kirk would finish the year, but they're still in the hunt in the playoff mix. You have to make some move somehow to stay competitive. I'm curious to see what Penix does against the Giants. It'll be interesting. I think if there's a team you can play out of the game, maybe do well with, I think it could be the Giants, but good luck trying to deal with sexy, Texy Lawrence. Prayers up to that dude. But no, Kirk's not going to leave until probably next offseason because, again, the money is there. And, well, it's nice to have a veteran back up.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, sure, Penix is still on his rookie deal, and you still got, what, Kirk, again, 45 a year?
Yep.
Yeah, again, like, it could be worse. It could be paying Trevor Lawrence $53 million, but, or 55, but... No, I think it is the beginning. I think it's the beginning of the end. It's not the end of the end, but you're starting to see the beginning of the end with Cousins' time in Atlanta.
Yeah, I agree, and I mean this was not in the Falcons' plans whatsoever. They were fine. I mean the GM said they were fine with Penix sitting for 4 years, which was crazy to me. But yeah, it's just I mean he's thrown 9 interceptions in the last 5 games.
And how many touchdowns?
0.
Yeah, it was time. It was time.
Yeah. But we'll see what happens. They got a pretty easy schedule outside of Washington coming up. So we'll see. Moving on. Next we got a baseball question. This is a pretty interesting statistic. Brooksgate went through and added up all the wins and losses since 2010 to 2024. With all the MLB teams.
Oh.
Don't groan. And so basically, I don't need numbers because that's insane, but tell me who you think are in the top 3 in terms of wins and the bottom 3 in terms of wins.
You see, I was groaning because my Tigers from 2017 till this year just ruined their own percentages. Top 3.
1 AL, 2 NL.
Okay, well, the Dodgers are up there for sure.
Yeah, Dodgers are one of them.
I guess the Yankees are up there.
Yankees are the second one. The third one was kind of surprising, but if you remember the mid-2000s, it may not be.
Okay, is this from 2010 or from 2000?
2010.
2010.
Or I meant for the mid-2010s, excuse me.
That's
And this one would be in the NL as well.
Oh, Houston.
In the NL?
Well, they were for a hot
yeah,
second.
Yeah, but no. Give one more shot.
It's an NL team. It is NL, correct?
Correct. You want to... I can give you some...
St. Louis.
St. Louis. Yep. Los Angeles leads the way with 1377. New York, 1321. And then St. Louis, 1266. The next question was the bottom 3. Same thing. We got 1 in the AL.
Oakland.
No.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's some good stretches there.
Yeah. 1 in the AL, 2 in the NL.
Colorado.
Colorado's one of them.
Miami.
Miami is the one with the most losses.
So I need the American League team.
American League team, and do you want the division within the American League?
Yes.
Central.
White Sox?
The White Sox. So I was actually, I know Miami hasn't been good, but I was actually surprised. They have the most losses since then with 1306, followed by Colorado, 1288, and followed by Chicago, 1273.
Well, honestly, that Jose Fernandez tragedy derailed that entire organization.
Yes.
It did.
There's a lot more there.
Sadly.
Well, that was that. I just thought that was a very interesting thing.
Before we transition, what's the record for my Tigers? Because as I grown, I thought they could be like bottom 5.
They were middle of the pack. So they interesting. So they won 1,112 games, and they lost 1,211 games. So about 100 games difference.
That sounds so right. Damn it.
Yeah, the winning percentage was .479. So. Yeah. But I mean that whole division doesn't look too great. So I mean, Detroit's working their way back up.
Was Kansas City the number one team in the division?
No, Cleveland.
Yeah.
Cleveland. Yeah, Kansas City kind of had a real stretch there.
All right. Next question.
Alrighty. We talked about this a little bit, talking about the Lions, and I don't want to throw gasoline on the fire for Lions fans, but I do have to ask, do we think Dan Campbell is being too aggressive in his coaching?
Dude, he wins. Who cares?
He
wins.
Hold on. We've just seen a couple times where it doesn't pay off, like the onside kick.
Do you think he's going to do that again? No.
I don't know.
No. The only way you can figure out something's actually a good idea or not is to actually try it. Scientific method. Hypothesis, testing, final results.
But yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, if he's winning, what does it matter? It seems like you were hot pressed on that. I feel like you've been having this conversation with other people.
Well, I heard Teddy Bruschi's rant about how stupid it was to go for it on fourth down contender. It's like, dude, shut up.
Right.
Like, if it works, why are you questioning it?
Mm-hmm.
It's either that or you're just jealous that something's actually working right for a team that hasn't had anything go right for them since literally the Eisenhower administration.
Fair. Yeah, and I mean, again, this is only their second loss, Lions fans. It's okay.
For the first time in franchise history of back-to-back 10-win seasons.
Yeah, so, glass half full.
Absolutely.
All right.
And it's full of Honolulu Blue Kool-Aid. Woo!
Well, big dog, those are my 3 big questions.
Yeah. So, Heisman happened on Saturday. I thought Ashton Jeanty was going to win it, and I wanted Travis Hunter. So, Noah, how you feeling on that?
I mean, I think he's very well deserving. I know there's been some drama around Colorado program, but that really doesn't have a lot to do with, or anything to do with Travis Hunter. The dude's dynamic. I mean, to play as well as he does on both sides of the ball. I'm hesitant to use the term, but similar to what Ohtani does in baseball. Again, not doing that comparison yet, but I think he's very well deserving, and he's insane, and I think he's going to be a beast in the NFL.
So the dude was top 10 in receiving yards, number 1 in receiving touchdowns, and had 4 picks, so it's basically lockdown corner. Yet so many people are just beyond pissed off the fact that ESPN rolled out that he also led the nation in snaps and it sure counts as stat. It's like, once every 30 years, you get that rare athlete in college football.
Mm-hmm.
You get that rare athlete. We saw it with Charles Woodson, who I think he compares to nicely, and they acknowledge the fact that Travis Hunter is that once in a generational athlete.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's the thing. Here's the fun thing about Charles Woodson and Travis Hunter, about their winnings. Do you remember Do you remember who Charles Woodson beat out narrowly to win that Heisman?
I do not.
Peyton Manning.
Oh.
And where are Woodson and Manning at right now?
Well, I think Peyton's a little better off.
Well, they're both in Canton, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
So who says that same thing can't happen for Jeanty and Hunter both? Who says it can't happen?
Very true.
I get it. It's a cool trophy you want to win. Awesome. But it's not the end-all be-all for these guys' careers. They're just getting started. They're both high-end players. They're going to be first-round picks. Probably, 20 years ago, they'd be top 5 picks.
Yeah.
But running backs getting the value for no reason whatsoever. But no, at the end of the day, I thought JT should have won it. But Travis Hunter winning it, look, it was the right call in the end. It was.
And if I'm correct, he and Shador have said they're going to enter the draft. Is that right?
I believe so. I don't see why they won it this year.
Yeah. I was just thinking, what do you think? Sorry to go off topic, but what do you think, Travis Hunter? Do you think an NFL team is going to let him play both sides of the ball like that?
I think he's going to focus on one side of the ball out of the gate, but I think he's going to focus on defense initially, but they'll throw in some packages for him to be a playmaker on offense. Not going to have him play every snap both sides of the ball. I think they have him focus primarily on defense, but they'll have some special packages for him to make plays in space on offense. He's not going to be an every down offensive piece. He's kind of more of a gadget guy in that kind of mold.
Right.
I think out of the gate. And then teams can figure out, okay, do we want to use them both ways all the time? Do we have them focus on one side of the ball? I think a smart team would do that.
Right. Well, we'll see about the future giant. Travis Hunter, that's my prediction.
Future Patriot.
Patriot.
Okay, so we got some figure the Heisman now, but we got some big college football games this week, don't we?
We sure do. It is the time for the college football playoffs, starting with Indiana at Notre Dame.
And the little Sebastian Sweetums Bowl.
Oh, love it.
All right, so Noah, I'll let you go first. Who do you like here? The team that lost at Ohio State, or the team that has the one loss at home to Northern Illinois?
You know, this one was tough, and I know that Notre Dame lost at home, but I do like the home field advantage for them. But Indiana's a really, really good team. I think, this is tough. I'm going to go Notre Dame here. I'm going to give it to Notre Dame, and I think it's going to be a good offensive game. Give me Notre Dame. 38-31.
I want to take Indiana here really badly because I do believe they have the better quarterback, but Notre Dame has more NFL talent. They have one corner, his name is case in mind right now. It's going to be a first-round pick in a loaded corner class. It's stupid. But I want to take Indiana here so bad.
I feel you.
Screw it. I'll take you. What? Screw it. Give me the Hoosiers here, 34-30.
All right.
So I have Indiana, and you had Notre Dame by, what was the score again?
I had Notre Dame 38-31.
All right, we're jotting these down to see how close we are. Next game, SMU.
Who knew?
The Pony Express. I like yours better. Damn it. The Pony Express traveling to Happy Valley, Penn State at night. Penn State's 8.5-point favorites. Producer Noah, who do you like in this one?
I like an upset, big dog. I like SMU. Who knew this year? Give me them in a tight one. I would say. I don't think the spread is quite right, but I will take SMU. 31-28.
Yeah, I think SMU is a better quarterback. Kevin Jennings next year. Here we could talk about him being a first-round pick. He's that good. Again, like I mentioned before with Notre Dame, I think Penn State has more NFL talent. Abdul Carter is going to be a top 5 pick. He's probably going to go to Carolina at 4. I'm telling you right now, that dude's insane. I don't like Drew Aller more than I like Jennings. Mm-hmm. I honestly don't. Mm-hmm. So, it's tough. Give me Penn State here. I can't go against James Franklin right now. Give me Penn State to win this one 28-20.
28-20. All right.
Now we got the next game here. The Clemson Tigers against playing at Texas. Texas. Hook 'em. All right. What do you got here, Noah?
Well, I think I was being from Georgia. I was actually hoping for Texas to win in that game when Texas played Georgia. Didn't happen. But I like Texas here. I do. I think they're the better team. I'm gonna take Texas. Give me Texas 28-20.
Not so fast there, partner. I'm not high on Texas.
Really?
I don't think Quinn Ewers is starting an NFL quarterback. I honestly don't think so. They have got some good pieces around them, but I just don't think they're that disciplined, and I don't think that they're that physical. I mean, Georgia pushed them around twice. So, I like Dabo Swinney. And you know what? Texas, at least in my lifetime, outside of one game in the Rose Bowl, that was an instant classic, probably the greatest game of our lifetime. Texas doesn't really show up in big games. So give me Clemson here in an absolute stunner of a game, 34-31 Clemson. Now, this next game is my personal hell. Oh, God. Tennessee to Ohio State. I'll explain why it's my personal hell. Noah, you go first.
Well, this one was a little bit easier for me, and I'll cut the analytical part. It's Ohio State. I've got Ohio State winning this one, and honestly, I don't think it's going to be even that crazy close. 30-17.
Now, this game is the personal hell for me for two reasons. One, my grandpa, Richard Thompson, as I call him, Bum. Love you, dude. Born and raised in Southeast Ohio on the Steel and Iron Belts in the Ohio River in Steubenville, Ohio, this dude bleeds scarlet and gray insanely. He set bragging rights on me Thanksgiving weekend for a good 15-year stretch. Then you have my stepdad, Dwayne. Born outside Nashville, Tennessee, bleeds orange and white like none other. So, do I piss off my grandpa or do I piss off my stepdad? It's a tough choice here. Honestly, it's tough. A part of me wants to see Ryan Day's career implode. It honestly does. And if Tennessee jumps early, that crowd's going to turn on Ohio State so fast, it's not even be funny. And if I'm being honest with you, Nico's going to be the best quarterback Ohio State's seen so far this year. Mm-hmm. I love Dylan Gabriel, but no one touches up with Nico. That's just such explosive offense. I think Ohio State has the playmakers to adjust with it. Tennessee's come on playing in the cold, which is going to be different. Do I say OHIO or do I say something as sweet as soda pop? It is tough. And I can't say tie and both teams have fun. I can't.
Aww.
I gotta go opposite of you, man.
Really? Okay.
Tennessee wins absolute shootout 45-42.
Woo!
Because Ohio State's kicking issues will bite them in the rear just like it did against Michigan.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. We'll see.
I'm sorry, bum, but good old Rocky Top.
Well, that does it for the college football playoffs.
I'm going to get so much flack at Christmas. It's going to be stupid.
Well, speaking of Christmas, Big Dog, this is our last episode before Christmas.
Yes, for those who are unaware, for the first time in 2 years, I'm going to be able to take a legit vacation.
Oh, that's right. Tell us what you're doing.
Yeah, so I'm jetting on Friday afternoon, and we'll be back till Saturday the 28th. Spend time with family. Kind of need a big week to recharge. Mentally, I've been drained. Physically, I've been kind of drained. Emotionally, I've been definitely drained. So it's going to be nice to get a chance to spend some time with my baby niece, Sayla, I talked about earlier. My dad retired the day before Thanksgiving. Dad. Yeah, congrats, Greg. Greg knows everything. Greg knows. Carpenter. So excited to see where he does now. Get a chance to see him. Got a nice Christmas gift for him, but I can't say it because I know he listens to the show.
Dang.
So, Greg, be ready. So,
get ready, Greg.
But no, I'm excited. I just need some time back downstate. I need some time to see my family, get a chance to just unplug, which it's been running for a year and a half straight, essentially. I just need the recharge so bad. So if you don't see me at SK Gladstone on Friday or SK Kingsford on Friday, that's why I'm choosing family over work right now.
Yeah, and good for you, and then makes a great point, folks. If you can take this time, if you have a break from school or work, make sure you focus on your mental health and just kind of recharge. It's that time of year, guys. But to bring some cheer, Big Dog, I wanted to ask you one more question.
Go ahead.
Give me a holiday movie that you have got to watch before Christmas is over.
Well, one of them was Adam Sandler's 8 Crazy Nights. I got a chance to watch that a couple weeks ago. It's actually a really nice story about kind of healing past traumas, which kind of fits for me right now. But it just has some of the worst potty humor you can imagine in typical Adam Sandler fashion. So it's awesome. Honestly, you can't beat Elf. You can't beat National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I've seen A Christmas Story so many times now that I can just pass on it.
Yeah.
But no, do you count Die Hard?
Yes, you do.
Okay, because it's not on my list, but no, I'd say National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation and Elf are at the very top of my list to watch when I'm downstate.
Right.
What about you, Noah?
I'll say for me, we've already watched National Lampoon. That one's classic. Definitely got to watch Elf.
Yeah.
And one of my personal favorites is Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Ooh, that's a good one.
You've seen that one? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then finally, I recently watched the Santa Claus with Tim Allen.
I was about ready to bring that up.
Go ahead.
So the plot of it now, as we're older, it's that's kind of messed up, right?
Yes.
But you look at the mom and the stepdad's perspective of the whole thing. It's you're trying to win your kid over. If it's he's Santa Claus, dude, you're kidding me.
Yeah.
For like an hour straight. It's like, oh. My bad. My bad, fam. My bad.
I will say, one funny part of that movie is when the stepdad's like trying to talk him out of believing in Santa, or like, how could he get to all these places in one night? The kid very smartly says, they don't celebrate Christmas everywhere. So true.
Yeah.
So true. So that is how Santa does it, folks.
Yeah. Some celebrate Hanukkah, some celebrate Kwanzaa, some celebrate whatever they celebrate.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm glad that we were talking about that movie. Because as a child of a divorce, that bugged me so bad when I watched it last year. I watched it back, it's like, this plot's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like, I get it, Christmas time makes sense, but anyway, different talk every day. We're sports talk. So, this wraps up this episode of Press Breakers. Have a happy holiday, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Gim Gam Gishnir, Happy...
All of it.
Yeah, all of it.
Just be happy.
Yeah, just be happy. So, this wraps up this episode of Press Breakers. For producer Noah, I'm the big dog, Mitch Vosburg. Thanks for stopping by. And as always, keep your stick in the ice.